Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be doing a review for the movie Renfield. This movie is rated R and has a runtime of an hour and 33 minutes. As of the recording of this video, the Rotten Tomatoes score is 60% for the critics, 81% for the audience. I think I'm a little closer to the critics on this one. This movie was not exactly what I was expecting, but it does definitely have some really fun and entertaining surprises. So, quick synopsis here. In this modern monster tale of Dracula's loyal servant, Nicholas Hoult stars as Renfield, the tortured aide to history's most narcissistic boss, Dracula. Renfield is forced to procure his master's prey and do every bidding, no matter how debased. But now, after centuries of servitude, Renfield's ready to see if there's life outside the shadow of the Prince of Darkness. If only he can figure out how to end his codependency. That's a big part of the movie, and that's definitely one of the more interesting aspects of it. This movie is directed by Chris McKay, written by Ryan Ridley and Robert Kirkman. It stars Nicholas Hoult as Renfield, Nicolas Cage as Dracula, Aquafina as Rebecca, and Ben Schwartz as Tedward Lobo. What an interesting name! I didn't even know. I thought it was Edward all throughout the film. Um, that's really the main cast. Everyone else is kind of a little bit of a supporting player. They don't play a big role in this film. So definitely the story revolves around all these characters. As I watch Renfield, this horror movie really delves into that story that I talked about. Unfortunately, I must say, the story presented overall in this movie is quite flimsy. It does not hold up well throughout the entire film. There is a whole subplot that really feels like filler, and it really doesn't add anything to what I thought were the strengths of the film. I will say, so let's talk about some of the really good things about this movie. One of the saving graces of Rainfield is undoubtedly Nicolas Cage's performance as Dracula. He fully delivers as the iconic vampire, bringing a certain gravitas to the role, but also a certain cheesiness to it. It almost feels like this is trying to be both a mainstream movie and a B movie at the same time, which is it doesn't find that balance. This role is definitely hard to ignore. His commanding presence, charismatic performance just make him a standout actor in this film. Cage fully devotes himself to the role, whether that means wearing some really heavy, elaborate prosthetics or just chewing the scenery in every time that he's on screen. That being said, Nicholas Holt's portrayal of Renfield is equally impressive, and it can be said that he carries the film. He's really the main character. His character is complex, nuanced, wholly intriguing, making him an excellent choice to be the film's protagonist. Immediately, you care about Renfield, and it is because of Nicholas Hoult performance. He's such a charming individual that he really sells you on his pain. There are also some really fun action sequences that really push the boundaries of violence and gore in a very entertaining way. There's a lot of stuff that looks like practical effects that I really enjoyed, and I think that's where this movie has its strengths. However, while both Cage and Holt deliver great performances, the film as a whole does not seem to know how to fully utilize their talents. The story feels underdeveloped. The film fails to capitalize on the strength of its lead actors. The result is a movie that feels disjointed with great performances, but unfortunately, those are not enough to overcome the weaknesses of the script. So every time Nicolas Cage is interacting, and we're following that storyline of the oppressed versus the oppressor, the movie's great. It hits all cylinders. There's even another aspect of it, another layer that they add with Ben Schwartz's character that I think works very well. Where the movie loses me a lot is when they try to delve into Aquafina's character, and I won't go too much in spoilers, but as you've seen in the trailers, she's a police officer in New Orleans, but they just really throw something in there to try to make you care for that character that I don't think it connected with me. It's hard to follow too her performance. I don't know if she's trying to be comedic or if she's trying to be stoic or serious. Uh, it's it's a lot to ask from one character to bring in all that aspect to the film. But as I mentioned, this if this film had focused a little bit more on just the Nicholas Hoult Nicholas Cage relationship and how that affects all the people around them, I think it would have been a lot better. Luckily, This film is not too long. It's only about 90 minutes. So really around 80 or so. Um, which I think, like I said, they really stretched it, I think, to get to that 80 something minute mark. And I'm usually pretty positive in movies. And overall, like I said, I still left the theater with an enjoyable experience, but it's not something I can immediately recommend unless you really want, like, if you want to see a Nicolas Cage performance, then by all means, go check it out. Because I think if that's what you're looking for, you're gonna have a good time. I would definitely love to revisit this character in the future, both of them really. But I don't know if that's gonna be something. I don't think the movie's very successful as of right now at the box office either. So I don't think we'll be seeing much more of Renfield, which is a shame because, like I said, I think the two main characters here were probably the highlight of the film. So overall, like I said, if you have the time, go watch it. I was back home in a minute. It didn't feel that long at all. But if you have seen it, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. Am I missing something? Is there something that did connect with you? Like I said, the action sequences are really fun, and I can tell. I mean, if Robert Kirkman was involved, I can tell. Like a lot of those super violent, gory, crazy, over the top moments, like that definitely screams of Kirkman. If you've ever read any of his comic books, so. And the direction of the film was fun. Like the action sequences are fun. It's kind of hard because when you see an action sequence after having watched John Wick not too long ago, like the quality is definitely not the same. But this is more of a supernatural feel to it, so it allows me to let it slide a little bit more. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.